I actually have a game recommendation though that I found.
Okay.
It is a JRPG though.
All right.
I'm listening.
It is called 13 Sentinels. I think.
I've heard of that.
Have you heard of that?
Yes.
So I found this by like complete fucking accident because
Right.
I'm just like trying to look through my game library of like games that sound interesting, and I just kind of downloaded it on a whim because I'm just like anime game, brilliant.
Yeah.
It's not Pokemon anymore.
Finally.
Well, I say that, but Pokemon's an anime game.
Yeah.
It's not technically. But I downloaded it and it is got a really fucking interesting concept.
Right.
So
Story.
how I can best describe this, it's like if you take Bokurano and mix that with Steins Gate, right?
Ooh.
So the reason it's called 13 Sentinels is because you have 13 main characters, right? And so the way this story unfolds is that you're able to select a perspective of part of this main character. And the basis of this is at some point in the future, like fucking kaiju come along and try to fucking destroy the world. And so these 13 kids have to save the world from this kaiju attack, right? But I think they fail or something.
Yeah.
So time travel exists, right? So you're playing this perspective, this game from like 13 different perspectives, and these perspectives like jump between timelines and universes depending on who you choose. And whose perspective you're on, and you think this would be a complete fucking mess, right? Like how can you tell a coherent story when you can choose between 13 different perspectives? Well, how the game works is that you can only progress to a certain amount of point in one person's perspective before you have to play another person's perspective. So one person's story route is unlocked by playing a certain part of another person's story route.
Right.
Oh.
So the way you get delivered this story is like little by little, and you get to piece together what the fuck has happened between this entire fucking timeline. It's actually like insane.
That sounds cool.
Yeah,
It's
I remember my Twitch chat like telling me all about it, being like, "You'd fucking love
Does
this
it have
game."
good ratings?
it does have good ratings.
find
That's kind of why I downloaded
Aegis
it.
Rim,
Yeah,
13 Sentinels.
13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim.
Oh, it's an Atlas game. Of course, that's why it's good. Of course.
Yeah,
94%,
yeah.
pretty
good.
So the
94%.
gameplay is kind of like a turn-based strategy. It's like the best way I can describe it is like
It looks gorgeous.
yeah.
That looks cute.
It looks really cute.
Yeah, it is a very Atlas game, I realize, because it's
Yeah.
basically a mix between a visual novel, but with gameplay elements to break up the story of that visual novel.
Switch version's coming out in April this year.
Ooh, okay. But
it's on PS4.
I highly recommend that because that
Okay.
was just that was just something I played on the whim because, like I said, I give everything like 2 hours or something, try and grab me, and this one like grabbed me immediately. It has a very original storytelling method, and I'm about halfway through, and like they use like some of the twists and turns I've seen in the story are like fucking insane.
Atlas don't miss, man.
Yeah,
They really don't miss.
Yeah. So
Except that new Catherine game. That was shit.
So they do
I
this.
know
Yeah.
more about the memes of the Catherine game than actual people that have played the Catherine game.
I played the new
Right?
Catherine game and it was not that good.
Yeah, because it's weird because like a lot of Atlas games, just I hear more about the Japanese side talking about it, but like I hardly ever hear anyone in the Western Hemisphere talking about it unless it's Persona.
Yeah.
that's because that's basically
Why the
just
Western
it.
Hemisphere?
Or the Western,
The Western world.
the Western. I don't know why I said. I don't know why I said hemisphere there.
Is it Japan in the Western Hemisphere?
Yeah,
Technically anywhere can be in the Western Hemisphere depending on where you look.
I kind of realized that.
I feel like I feel it's because like in the West it's like it's a very core fan base for Atlas
Yeah.
games, you know.
Yeah.
Because they are like the JRPG players JRPGs.
A lot
I
of
feel.
people are like, anime game, no thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They take
Donkey.
one Yeah.
Rightfully
exactly.
so.
Yeah, they take one look at the visuals or like the concept and they're just like, nope. I'd rather play Bang Bang Bang. Like this man, for instance.
You're talking to this man
I
right here.
understand. You know, there's a
Yeah.
certain kind of expectation that comes with anime games that, in my
Yeah.
experience, is always the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
You
is.
always get that same feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if the stories are different and the gameplay's different, something about it just always comes off as the same in my
Yeah.
mind. I don't
Yeah,
know why.
I
No,
don't,
it-
I
it
don't
is.
fault
No.
I don't fault people for thinking that though.
That's
because
what I like about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you like the
like-
consistency.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't fault people for thinking that though, because that's exactly how I feel with a lot of FPS games.
Yeah.
Where it's like the concept is different, but at the end of the day, it's still bang bang bang.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I don't. It's
bang.
fine.
no, but
More
even like,
JRPGs for me.
but like even like Western driven in story-driven games as well. It's just like, I don't know. I guess it's the same reason why I'm into anime versus movies and TV shows, right? I mean, I will always watch a movie and TV show, but those aren't the core pieces of entertainment that I like. For example, like I remember playing The Last of Us, and it's a great game, but I just have like zero emotional attachment to it. Like I play it and I can like objectively view as a
not anime.
Huh?
Because they're not anime.
I guess. I don't know.
If they were more anime, you'd be like, I care.
I don't know why. It was just the way Western storytelling works is that it's got like different tropes and a different method of storytelling, but I don't know why I gravitate more to like the anime style of storytelling, because I do think they do have a different style.
Oh,
you know
definitely.
what I mean?
Definitely.
Well, it's different cultures. So.
Yeah, different cultures and everything like that. And you know, the way Joel and Ellie were written as characters were great. They were great characters. I don't know. I just didn't emotionally attach myself to either of those characters, even though I could tell that they were great characters.
Why do you emotionally attach yourself more to anime characters then?
Because he's a weeb.
But like, there's got to be a reason, right? Like, what about the way that they do their characters is more appealing?
I think it's because they're unrealistic. I
was going to say, because that's what bothers me.
Yeah. I like the fact that with anime characters, there's like a clear distinction between reality and fantasy, right? And I like having that easy separation in my mind, where you can have great, really well-written anime characters that are still clearly like really fucking unrealistic. Like just take any fucking tsundere, for example. You can have great written tsunderes, but at the end of the day, if you meet a real life tsundere, you're just going to think that they're a bitch. And why are they why are they doing domestic violence on their like partner or whatever, right?
Do you think that the authors who are like writing these are intentionally making unrealistic characters, or that's like they're intending to do real characters, but it just comes off as unrealistic?
I think it's all based on just like not only like the cultural understanding and like norm of that author, but it's also the fact that a lot of these authors are also hashing off other Japanese creations and other Japanese characters, right? So it's, you know, that like I don't really know of many or any like Japanese author who takes direct influence from like Western stuff, for instance. Right. Like the only one I can think of is like fucking Araki.
Yeah.
You know, which is why his characters are so fucking different compared to the traditional norm like manga anime style of character.
Yeah.
Not just like visually, but also like as like a characteristic of that particular person, right?
Yeah, like why is like so many anime set in high school? Why is that? Like, is that a cultural thing?
Yeah, it's
like,
a cultural thing.
Why so?
It's because it's, for a lot of people, like high school is kind of seen as like this basically like golden time.
It's depressing, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really fucking depressing.
It's like, for a lot of people, high school is like, you know, the whole thing of like in the West of like high school is like, you know, usually movies that are based in high school in the West are based off bad memories. Yeah. You know, being like, oh man, my high school fucking sucked, blah, blah, blah. There were all these shit people, the jocks, the bullies, blah, blah, blah. Right? That's the norm in the West. In Japan, it's glorified because to a lot of people, high school was a really fun time with like friends they'll never get back. And like, because it's also the last years of that person being young and free.
I mean, I liked high school, but I wouldn't say
I liked high school. My life. Well, exactly.
I think as well, in terms of like a storytelling like standpoint as well, like I feel like kids in high school or like kids going through puberty is just already a really interesting like character dynamic. Like you can get characters to get away with a lot of shit just because they're in puberty. Yeah, but I feel like there are so many fucking shows and so many anime where you look at the characters and they could be in any fucking setting, right?
Oh, yeah. Because, like, some of the shit that these high schoolers go through, they, like, go through, like, 2 world wars. They're like fighting Avengers-level threats when they've reached the fucking 13 years old.
That's clearly not a well-written character, you know? That's clearly just an author being like, I like high school settings. Let's put them in a high school, you know? But don't actually take full advantage of it, unfortunately. But there's a lot of authors that take full advantage of like the high school characters and that whole setting and actually like work it into their characters and story. Mind you, that's the minority in my opinion. A lot of them are just like high school, realistic, relatable with audience. Am I right? Let's throw them in there, you know.
I watched Agretzko, the new season.
Oh, yeah?
Good. That was good. Very refreshing.
Yeah.
Depressing as always.
Depressing as fuck, yes.
Which is great to see because it's like one of the only anime out there that will actually like commentate on adult life in Japan and be realistic about it.
But it also says a lot when no one knows about it in Japan.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It is absolutely, it is absolutely unknown in Japan.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Okay.
like it is not popular at all. Probably because
is a
it's too real.
It's a bit
in Japan.
too real.
It's
so
too
many
real
like,
in Japan.
very
Yeah.
Japanese things in it as well.
Yeah.
Like it's so
Yeah.
Japanese, but like it's such a good take on the Japanese
it's
work life.
awesome.
How awful it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I mean, it's ironic that this is coming from the same company that made Hello Kitty.
Yeah,
right.
just to put it into perspective, like how deep they're going. So in Japan, right, they have a thing called seishine, right?
Seishine, yeah.
Which is like an employee for life.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You can never fire this employee. They have to do something like really fucked, right?
Well,
Like-
they have to leave on their own accord.
Yeah.
right, but like even the only way they can get fired is if they actually do something like illegal, right? Right?
The only way they can leave the
you
company
cannot
is
be
by
fired.
going to jail.
You could literally do the shittiest job on earth. Like you could like not turn up and you cannot be fired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Japan, obviously, because they
Talk about
decided
job security.
So yeah, obviously, if you told that to anyone in any Western country, they'd be like, "I don't think that sounds like a good idea." And
Because it's not.
Because it's not. It's not. Like let's just be honest. Obviously, job security is good, and that's good.
Yeah.
But like, it's a terrible idea for any business, right? Like you
Yeah.
need to be able to get rid of employees.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
But obviously, in the West, it's a little, especially in some places, they're a little too happy to fire employees.
Yeah.
So there has to be a balance. Right?
It's-
But
it's a balance.
Anyway, there's a whole arc or like story in the new season. I won't spoil who it is or what it is, but there's a character who, because they can't fire him, they just relocate him to some shithole and they don't give him any work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they basically just like morally make him want to quit.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, and it's a whole thing, and it's pretty fucking
That's,
dark.
that's the only way that Seishine can quit.
Yeah.
So
that's
they
what do in
basically
Japan.
just pressure them.
Yeah, they bully you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they,
they
bully you
bully
to
you.
quitting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so there's a whole thing where they like just make him fuck off and like make him, because obviously people don't want to be valued, right, when they do work, right? And if you're just not doing anything, you're going to be like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Obviously, if I was there, I'd be like, fantastic, I can catch up on all my
Fantastic.
shows.
Let's
play games.
let's just play Apex.
That's why it works in Japan. It doesn't work. Yeah, I'm like, you telling me I can just do whatever I want for 8
Sick.
hours, and you're going to give me the salary?
What's the
Yo!
latest? I can watch the latest Agretzko season.
Yeah, see ya. I'm like, thanks for the paycheck. This is why I'm never going to be hired full time, Seishan. Now that I've said that, this is bad.
Maybe that's for the better.
Yeah, true. But yeah, they go into some really dark stuff, and it's a shame that it's not being Japan because I feel like it could make waves. Maybe it's too real. Like Joe said.
I think it is. I think it's just purely the fact that a Japanese person will look at that and be like, I don't want to see this because it's just going to remind me of reality. And to a lot of Japanese people, that's not the reason why they watch anime.
There was like really one fucking dark bit. I mean, I think I'm sure you can remember it in the new season, right?
Oh.
Can I spoil it? I won't say who it is. I'll just say what happens.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should.
You can't say that.
Nah.
Really? Is it that bad?
It's a bit of a twist.
all right.
Yeah.
I haven't
Just-
watched the
It's
first
pretty
just
bad.
watch
It's pretty
the like,
dark.
just watch the latest season. It's fucking amazing.
Honestly, Agretzko is like killing it.
I've heard mixed reviews about the fourth season. Actually,
Really?
Some people have said that it
too
feels
dark?
like it's said everything it's needed to say now, and it's
Yeah.
getting it's like they're trying a lot to like bring something new on the table.
First 5 episodes, really good.
Yeah.
Last 5 episodes, boring as shit. Like completely unnecessary. I didn't like it. That's how I felt. At least,
Yeah.
right? I felt like they had a good thing going, and then they just
It
like
definitely
fucked it.
it fizzles out at the end. Yeah.
Right.
But
Also,
it's still a solid season though.